We all know the story about the potential convert who comes to the two sages, Shammai and Hillel, and he wants to convert. And he says to the two sages, please teach me the entire Torah, al regel achat, on one foot. And Shammai says, you're making a mockery of Judaism, get out. And Hillel is more empathetic, more kind, more welcoming, and he teaches him a fundamental point. He says to him, you want to know 1 foot Judaism on 1 foot? That which you don't want done to yourself, don't do to someone else. And the rest of Judaism stands on that foundation. There's a beautiful insight and interpretation to this story. What was he really asking? He was asking about the upcoming festival of Shemini Atzeres. It's known as the Regel, part of the pilgrimage festival. And he wanted to know, why is Shemini Atzeres a festival of its own? Regel Achat, it's its own festival. We even say a special Shechianu, again on this last days of Yom Tov, because it stands alone. Why should it stand alone? Why is it not the continuation of Sukkot, an 8th day to Sukkot? To which Hillel says to him like this, you see, Rosh Hashanah has its own mitzvah, shofar. Yom Kippur has its own mitzvah, fasting and affliction. Sukkot has 2 mitzvahs, sitting in a sukkah and shaking in lulav and esrog. What's the celebration and the mitzvah of Shemini Atzeres? It's all about togetherness and unity, loving a fellow like yourself. That's what the Shemini Atzeres is about, and that's the mitzvah of the last days of Yom Tov, and therefore it stands on its own. There's a beautiful passage from the Talmud regarding this last day of Yom Tov, where Hashem says to the Jewish people, we've been so close to each other over these last weeks. Kasha alai predaschem. It's difficult for me to separate from you, so therefore stay around for one more Yom Tov called Shemini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. But the interpretation or other interpretation is, it's difficult for me to see you all saying goodbye to each other. So stay together with each other for one last chag, a chag of unity, a chag of togetherness, a chag of loving one another. That's the mitzvah of this particular festival, the end of Sukkot. And please God will take that message of unity and togetherness and community into the rest of the year too. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and a Chag Sameach.